Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Simply Together show. It's the 20th of February, and is it okay out there? I haven't been outside, so I don't know, but it looks bright. It looks bright, and I noticed the other day it's lighter in the mornings and it's lighter in the afternoon. So yay. So we've got a packed show today, as usual. How are you doing, Nikkei?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited as always to meet new people, find out what's going on. And I'm fine.
Good. So what's going to happen is I'm going to leave Nikkei to talk to you, David and Grace, and then I will then be back on later to talk to our other guests. So away you go, Nikkei.
Oh, hey. Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining, David and Grace. How are we today?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much.
Yeah? How are you, Grace?
Excited.
Oh, good. So before we move on, let's just find out who you are, who you're representing. So who wants to go first?
Shall I start, Grace? And then I can introduce Grace because she's a bit special too.
Bless you.
My name is David, and I'm the co-founder and co-director of Next Generation Youth Theatre in Luton. We've been going since 2012, believe it or not.
Wow.
We run drama, musical theatre, dance, street dance, contemporary dance, Monday to Friday after school across Luton. Then we also go into schools, colleges, educational provisions, and run clubs, curriculum, bespoke performances, and again Monday to Friday. And we work with 0 to 25-year-olds, and we've been doing that for over 2 years now. And this is Grace, and I'm doing that the wrong way. This is Grace. Sorry, this is Grace. And Grace has been with NGYT for a long time, and her family are well and truly part of the NGYT family as well.
Wow. So that sounds really interesting. So, Grace, let me just ask you a question, if you don't mind. How did you get involved with the National Youth Theatre? Is it national? Did you say? Oh, Next Level. Sorry.
Next Generation Youth Theatre. We can be called the National Youth Theatre. That would do. I like
that. How did you get involved? So first of all, I think my sister started to do it because she was struggling a bit, and then a couple of years after, I'm sure some of the stuff had faded, and I really wanted to get involved, and I started doing it with.
Oh wow, that's amazing! So. Where you're going around into schools and stuff, does it work in your own school, or do you?
Have we been to your school, Grace? I'm not sure if we've been to your school.
No, not in. No, but I think that Hannah has done. In the infants part of the school.
Right, and so if I could just ask, I'm actually really kind of curious because. You mentioned clubs and then you go into school. So is it like a drama club where people come after you happen to have clubs in schools, or did the schools invite you in for particular purposes?
A mixture actually. So with the school stuff, Grace was saying Hannah. So was that a drama club, Grace?
Yeah, Hannah has done some, and I think a yoga club thing. Yeah, mindfulness session. A mindfulness session.
Okay.
We've done bits and pieces, but generally with the schools, we'll approach schools and find out what they need really. Some schools might want to do dance within their PE curriculum, but might not have a specialist, so we could send in a dance teacher. Some schools, like Grace said, might want to have be focusing on sort of mental health and well-being, so they might be looking at something that's tailored towards like mindfulness. Or some schools might actually, like secondary schools, they might be in a position where they're saying, you know what, we've got an issue within society at the moment. Is there a piece or a workshop you could bring to us to help our young people become aware of those issues and look at themselves and make the right positive choices and realize they're not alone within those situations. So it's a real mixture of things we do in schools, actually.
Yeah, sounds like it. So, because you mentioned that it started in 2012, fantastic year, Olympic year. Did it start with that vision, or has that vision just evolved over the years?
When Laura and I, so Laura, who's my wife and the co-founder, co-director, when we started NGYT, it was very much born out of the idea that obviously when young people experience things like dance and drama and theatre, often it will be set choreography and it will be scripts that are already written. So they'll be doing shows that people have seen before. And they'll be doing dance moves, well-known dance moves, or dance moves that a teacher has kind of prepared for them. They'll be doing exams, curriculum, syllabus, these kind of things. And Laura and I were like, wouldn't it be great if we gave young people the opportunity to make up their own shows, to create their own choreography, to tell their own stories? It would be young person led. So that was one of the first ideas. And then the second thing for us, we used to both work, and I won't name them, we used to work for a larger organisation that work with young people, theatre and dance and things. Very, very expensive and not very accessible. And also a little bit of a kind of false promise of you're going to be a star, you know, you're going to be on the West End. We realised that actually the arts needs to be accessible, so it needs to be affordable, and it also needs to give young people a sense of a personal achievement. So it's not about being famous; it's about being yourself, being whoever you want to be, telling your unique story, representing your community. And so for us, that they were the two big ideas, the big seeds for us, and we began from there. Let's make something affordable, and let's make something that celebrates young people for who they are.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I've got a couple of questions actually. Something's just come up on screen, so we can deal with that. I'll just put that out there so I don't forget. And also, Grace, so I've got two things for you. First of all, I wanted to ask you if you have a speciality, what do you do? And secondly, from Simply Deez, Dee Brady, founder, has said here, this is what she's saying of you, that Grace needs to come on and host a show for us. So yeah, and then you can pick your own guests. How cool would that be? Oh my God, I would definitely tune in. So,
what do you think tomorrow?
I think Grace would be very, very good at hosting her own event. She actually met someone. Well, I can't remember. It feels like 5 minutes ago, but it wasn't. She was on stage and actually on the BBC stood next to someone who spoke to her the other week. So she's all used to the camera.
Oh wow! Oh, and who was this person? I'm intrigued.
Jason Manford.
Oh wow!
He came to speak to me after some of the kids from NGYT did some performing with Beverly Knights.
Oh wow, that's amazing! And what did he have to say?
He asked me, "What do you think about what I just did?"
Okay.
About what we did.
Okay, and what had you just done? I know you mentioned that you were performing. Were you dancing, acting? What? Yeah, because go back to my original question. What is your speciality?
Probably singing, acting, and dancing. I like to do the whole thing. So just musical theatre.
Okay. Oh, that sounds amazing. And so, do you have a favorite aspect of anything that you've done? Is there anything that you'd like to evolve into?
Probably acting. That would probably acting.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. And have you got anybody that you're aspiring to act with, or?
Probably most of the teachers at NGYT, because we really inspire you.
Wonderful. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, thank you for that. So, the other question I was going to ask, I'm sorry. That's it, Grace, name drop. Yes, we will be, and then we'll be dropping the mic and everything. Oh my God, no, that is really good. Um, so I wanted to ask you. I'm so sorry. I probably should have read the stuff in the chat before, but I got carried away with it. Are you promoting events if people want to come and watch, or are you promoting spaces available? How is it?
So all of our groups are free to come along and try. So Monday to Friday after school sort of groups, for 4-year-olds all the way up to 25-year-olds.
Okay.
And our drama groups or our dance groups or our musical theatre groups, they can find us on ngyt.co.uk, which is going along the bottom of the screen. Or we're on Instagram, X, Facebook, just search NGYT. And then we can send you over a sign-up form and you can come along and send your young person to come along and try any of our sessions. One of our new sessions that's actually starting, we've just had funding from the Luton Citizens Fund.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
We're about to launch a key stage, let me get this right, key stage 1, 2 and 3 groups for young people with special educational needs. So they're going to be launching very, very soon. And again, it's the same. People go to the website, fill in a sign-up form, we'll send all the information across. So that's something that's coming soon.
So with it being a key stage, what does that mean? Does that mean that it will count towards their GCSEs or what?
No. That's just that's the age groups. So whether they're in key stage 1, 2, or 3 at school. So
right. Oh dear. I'm not in that loop.
What key stage are you in, Grace?
Key stage 2.
Oh wow. Okay, so just for context, a little old woman here. How old are you, Grace?
8 years old.
8. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so that's how that works. Oh, very good. And so, with you being part of it, have you got anything you'd like to say for any other young person or even older person, not 25, listening?
So if you are thinking about coming to NGIT, it's actually really good of a safe space, because I know that sometimes in a check-in we'll hear that some people have been being bullied at school or they didn't like what they did today, and when they come to NGIT, it's just like a safe space for them.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. Is there anything else? I mean, obviously, all the contact details are going across the ticker line there. The other thing that you mentioned as well, that you put on like bespoke performances and stuff like that. So, do you put on performances as a group that people can buy tickets for and come and watch?
Yeah. So we have our audition theatre and dance company that are the 14 to 25-year-olds. They're literally just at the start of their show, and they perform at the Hat Factory. They're in partnership with the Culture Trust. Then Grace's group, the musical theatre group, they have literally just started work on a show. It hasn't even got a name yet, but they've started making it, and it's all about. Grace, can you explain what it's about a little bit?
So it's so last week we did something about. So we haven't really got a context of it yet, but it's about monarchs and a new one. And yeah, it's about different opinions. And that's what we've worked on so far.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing.
There's this idea that one of the characters who's the daughter of, like Grace said, the monarch, or that we're calling the Majesty, the daughter isn't sure if she wants to follow that path. So again, it's about being yourself, which is very much, an NGYT thing anyway. And often our shows do all kind of cover the themes of our organisation and the things that we're trying to promote to young people. So Grace and her group have literally started work on that last week. They started work on one of the songs, on some of the movement. They're using signing within the movement, and they've started work on their characters and things. And Grace is going to be, I've got to get this right. So Grace, are you in the juniors?
Yes.
So Grace is in the juniors. So Grace is part of society. She's got to make a decision as to whether or not she believes that the Majesty should be in power and running the country and owning this wonderful kingdom and being in charge of everyone, or whether or not she feels that the Majesty actually, they're just a normal person. Why should they have all that power? Why should they be the monarch as such? So Grace is a character that gets to make that choice for herself and work out what side she wants to be on.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah. I would love to know when that's all on so that we can come and look here.
Yeah, we'll start. That will be at the Hat Factory, and we will.
Right, if you want me to share the screen for the news clips, but right. So I was just reading the comment here. Have you guys had anything to do with Beverly Knight?
Grace did.
So you were hiding stuff from me. Oh my God, I've got to improve my deeper questioning skills.
So you sang with Beverly Knight, didn't you, Grace, on the BBC on Big Night of Musicals? And what song did you sing with her, Grace?
Seasons of Love.
Oh wow, we've got some pictures coming up here.
From the musical When.
That's it.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. One thing I would say, for the fact that you did not share that really does lend, what's the word? The sincerity when I asked you who you aspire to act with, when you said, it would be with the NGT people, because other people would have been like, oh my God, check me out, I met Beverly Knight. I would have to prize that out of you. So that is a real amazing trait. That's what, honestly, I'm so impressed. Wow.
And that's on our social media as well. So if people on our Instagram and things, or just head over to BBC iPlayer, you can watch the whole episode again. So Grace and some of her group actually performed in a lineup of lots of West End musicals. So they had the cast of Hamilton, Guys and Dolls, Moulin Rouge, Jamie the musical.
That's elite stuff.
And they performed in front of 12,000 people at the Manchester Arena. So they did incredibly well. We're so proud of them.
Oh wow, that's amazing. And what program was that again, so that people do not miss it?
It's called Big Night of Musicals, and you can search it on BBC iPlayer now, because it went out a couple of Saturdays ago, I think, on BBC One. So you can watch it again on the iPlayer.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you. Oh my days! Honestly, I could be chatting here. Now I know that I need to, because getting that information out. It was a good job that Shelley already knew. That's amazing. Well done. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's all going to evolve. So, there she is. I was just about to say, I think Cecile will be back now. Isn't Grace? Well, I mean, obviously David as well, but isn't Grace just amazing?
Absolutely. I've been listening. Absolutely wonderful. And yes, just keep sharing your info with us so that we can promote that as well. And then we're going to be able to say in, I don't know, a few years' time, we knew Grace. We already met Grace. Before she was a star, we met Grace.
Another one of Luton's finest, shining stars right there.
Exactly. And we definitely want to get you on, Grace, to come and host a show. It'll be absolutely brilliant to get you to do that. Okay?
Maybe a comedy.
Say that again?
Maybe a comedy show would be good.
Okay. That's fine. That can work.
Yes, indeed.
We can do that. So thank you. Thank you, David and Grace. Thank you for coming on. Like I said, stay in the background because we might be able to get you back on again. And good luck with everything.
Cecile, can I quickly
Yeah.
say something, darling? Because I've been watching in the wings.
Okay.
I have to just say, I can't help myself. This man here, okay, this man right here, he was actually my drama teacher in school. So I've known David for a very, very, very long time. And I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritties of how I came to meet David, because I think that's a story for another day in itself. But I think the work that himself and his wife and his team do in our community of Luton is something that needs to be recognised, especially in this very year of 2022, because I just don't believe that thank God for, the whole Beverley Knight situation, and they're finally really starting to edge out this year. And I do love that for them. But, I just think it's amazing what they do in our town and what they offer to the young people. And I'm just so honoured that I know this man. I'm so honoured to say that he's my friend, and he's somebody that I'll always look up to. He inspires me. I speak about him often, very, very often. And yeah, I just thank you, David, that you continue, because I was probably a bit older than Grace. I was a little bit older than Grace when I met David, and he changed my life back then. So I can only imagine that he's only doing that again now with Grace, with everyone else that he comes into contact with, and Laura comes into contact with. They're an amazing organisation. They're an amazing charity, guys. And I feel like you guys really need to be behind these people before it's too late, mate, because they're about to fly. I'm telling you that now. They're all about to fly.
Thank you, Samara.
That's okay. Oh, that's really good.
Sorry, I just had to say that quickly because I was not going to let that go. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. So yes. So again, thank you, David and Grace, for coming on. So just stay there, and we'll hopefully get you back on again. Oh, what a morning! What a morning!
I know.
So our next guest, where is she? Where is the lovely V?
Oh, there she is. Hello, V.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Hi. Was listening to Grace. Fantastic. Oh, really well. Thank you.
And the other thing as well is that she's so eloquent with the language and choice of words that she used.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even know the strength of her abilities. She's amazing.
Absolutely. Talent, and a talent that will only shine brighter. Fantastic.
Amen to that. Yes.
Yeah.
And another talent that's come from Luton. Just saying that out there, because they keep saying that Luton's got lots of everything. Anyway, so how you doing, V?
I am doing amazing. I am absolutely, it's been a really grey morning, but the sun is fighting to come out. So it's brightening up, and I refuse to put on lights.
Oh,
I refuse to put on overhead light. No lights.
My lights are on.
Our seniors would say you're burning out the light.
I'm
not burning out no light.
I know, but what I say is I'm paying the bill so I can put the light on.
Right? Yes. Yes.
See? So anyway, enough about lights. So tell us a little bit about yourself. For those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. So I'm a Jamaican born, English raised granny. Okay, I'll tell you a bit more. There's
much more to you than just Jamaican born, English raised granny.
Yeah, there's a bit more. So I'm a science educated. I have a biological science and biotech degree. I have worked in education and science in my early careers. I kind of gravitated to support work, supporting students around their personal issues and safeguarding. In 2014, I believe it was, it may have even been 2013, I went to a meeting and I listened, I think it was an International Women's Day meeting, and I listened to some fantastic women talk about their projects and what they were doing and the big risks and the big investments that they were making into themselves. And I thought, you know what? I've wanted to start a business. So I went home that day from that meeting and I told my husband, I'm starting a business. I'm starting my own business. I'm going to start a business. I carried on working, and Varelba Mind and Body was born. I make skincare. I'm a micro business, so I'm still quite a small business. And in a way, that kind of works for me with all the other things I do. So Veralba Mind and Body was born in 2017 and launched. And along the journey, I've had some very, very key people, influential people involved. The lady who put all this together, the Simply Deez, Simply Together show and the Simply Deez event has been part of that journey with me. So about 12 years ago, I started to notice that my stomach was expanding. My stomach was just getting bigger and bigger, and my periods were just getting worse. I'd always had painful periods, but it just seems to be going up another level. My feet were always swollen. I couldn't hold my, I was almost incontinent because I kept on having to run to the toilet. I had to plan to find toilets everywhere I went. Before I went, I would try and find out, where are the loos? Does this station have a loo? You know, and so on. And thank God for McDonald's. All right.
Yes.
Thank God for McDonald's. And I kept a journal. So I had this gynae journey going on. And what prompted me to go to the doctors was an episode where the bleeding was so heavy that I flooded everywhere. And I thought, this can't be normal, because up until then, I just thought it was normal. You got older, your stomach got bigger, your feet, everything started to swell up, and your bladder got shot to bits. So I just thought that was all, that was okay. Because I saw some of my seniors, I looked around and I saw my seniors, and but quite a few of them had extended stomachs and swollen feet in the summer, especially in the summer. My little toes would look like little sausages. But then when this happened to me at work on a particular day, I thought, this can't be right.
No,
I need to go and get myself checked. And that started my journey, this gynae journey. And what I did, I kept a journal. I've always liked to write. I've always liked to write things, and just to get things out, and just to part of my mental health, I suppose, maintaining my own well-being. I kept a journal, and years later, I think last year, I found the journal in a box, and I looked through it and I thought, oh, maybe this could help somebody. So I decided to self-publish it through KDP, and it's out there. The hysterectomy. Oh, you got yours. You know what? I'm glad you've got yours, because I forgot to bring mine.
I thought to myself, she'll have hers, but I'm going to bring mine as well.
I forgot to bring it and put it beside me. But anyway, so yeah, the Hysterectomy Chronicle was born, and it highlights and it charts my journey. What happened to me, the tests, the feelings, the thoughts, the anxiety, the intimate bits. Yeah. All of it. I thought, okay, I'm not going to kind of cover it up. Although there are some embarrassing bits that I didn't put in.
Okay.
I thought that would just be a step too far.
Too far.
Yeah, it was a step too far. But some of it involved, we're going out and hubby having to stop for me to pee like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Some
of those other bits that you haven't put in here could very well go into book number 2. Just a thought. Book number 2, so you can put those bits in there. But one of the things I think is like you just said, you look at the people around you, and they're experiencing these things as well. But I just remember my mum, and maybe even my gran, saying, oh, when you get older, this is what happens. Oh, when you get older, this is what happens. As if it was okay. Yeah. And that's fine. And your stomach grows and your feet swell up and your legs swell and all of that. That's just okay. Yeah. But actually, you have then found that actually it's not. No, it's definitely not okay. And the sad thing is that up to some of the most recent data is stating, coming from America, is that around 84% of women that look like me, look like you,
will develop fibroids at some point in their life course. 84%.
Why is that number so high?
The research is ongoing.
Right.
But guess what? A lot of us, people that look like us, are not involved in that research.
Of course.
We're not part of it. And part of that is, number one, we don't even talk amongst ourselves about it.
Yeah.
Much less to go and join research.
Yeah.
Right? We don't, it's taboo, isn't it? We don't talk about it. We're too embarrassed. And sadly, there are people, and this is a phrase that I'm going to use from time to time, embarrassed to death. Right? So embarrassed that the individual will not go to the GP to get anything checked, will just tolerate, put up. And sometimes it is through lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is through lack of knowledge. And sometimes it is that embarrassment. Well, I've got to go to the doctor. I've got to make that appointment. Well, over the last few years, I know it's been a struggle to get in to see the GP, whereas before it was easier.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't ideal then, but it's kind of got worse over the last few years, and we all know what's happened since then.
But two things before you go on. Two things. Nike has just said she is one of those women,
right?
The ones that don't talk about it.
Okay.
And also now, I don't know how long it's been going on, but at least the last couple of years, you've got to get past the receptionist. No disrespect to any GP surgery receptionists out there, because I know they're being asked by the GP to ask those questions.
Yeah.
But if you're finding it hard enough to even acknowledge yourself what's going on, are you even going to want to say to the receptionist, I need to see the GP because of lady problems? Lady problems. That's something that used to be called lady problems.
Yes. And some people will use that almost like a sanitized way of discussing anything below the waist, the lady problems.
Yeah.
You know, and when you talk to some of the surgeons, they will tell you the level of embarrassment and almost childlike responses to patients that they see, because the individuals don't want to name their sexual parts. They don't really want to communicate what is really going on. And sometimes they'll cloak that in different types of language, or, you know, they'll go to the doctor and say to the male doctor, I've got lady problems, but the doctor wants specifics.
Yes.
Right? Are you bleeding heavily? When you say lady problems, what do you mean? Your breasts are popping out of your bra? What do you mean? What do you mean? What kind of lady problems? Your slip is showing. Right?
What the doctor wants is what Shelley's just said. She blurts it out. You want to know? You want to know? I'm going to be blunt with you. So she's going to tell them. But there's not many people that will just walk in and do that. Yeah,
right.
Not even talk to girlfriends and partners.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes what I found is that once you start that dialogue, or you start that conversation, you'll be surprised that people just chip in. Oh yeah, my sister, my mum, my auntie, me. People will start to talk if they feel safe, if they feel comfortable. And it's not just me just wanting to find out people's business. No. I'm saying there are health disparities going on. There are papers. I've got papers here. Government, right? Ethnicity, facts and figures, patient satisfaction. You can't even see it because it's you don't have to see that. But that's one of the papers. Patient satisfaction with hospital care. And there are instances of disparities and dissatisfaction, certain groups feeling that they're not getting the adequate care or not getting the outcomes that certain other groups are getting. So couple that with us not talking, us not being involved in research, because if we're not represented in research, then whatever outcomes and findings won't include us, or it will be a blanket cover where it's a one size fits all, and that isn't the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Just let me tell you before you go on, David has just said it's that too many sectors that are not doing enough to ensure inclusivity for people of colour, which we know is the case.
Right, especially in research.
Yeah.
Especially in research.
And Nike said it's becoming clear as well, though the way the doctors are trained and what they choose to focus on makes a difference in the ability to be able to speak to them. So if you go in ready to say something and they then come at this in a different way, you then don't say what you came in there for.
Yeah, and this is why I would always advise when I was doing my caring support roles with young people and adult students at times to write it down or take somebody with you. Write it down. And then you can actually go into when your name's called and you go in there, you can literally hand the piece of paper to the GP.
Yeah.
Right? So
definitely.
I'm just putting that out there, that's something that you can do. You may feel a bit, my spelling isn't great and my grammar's not great. That's okay. Write it down or get someone to go with you, right? Get someone to check it. If you've got someone you feel you can trust, you feel safe with, that they can check your wording or whatever it is you need to say, and give it to the doctor. The doctor would rather that than the clock is ticking. The doctor would rather when you came in, you were able to get to the point. He was able to get to at least some way of finding out what the issue is in a timely fashion so that he can help you.
Exactly.
He's got a waiting room full of other patients.
Yeah. And you've got 10 minutes. So, and I think if you ask somebody to go with you, it means you're going to have that conversation as well with your friend or your I don't know, your mum or your daughter or whoever. You're going to have that conversation so that when you go in there, they know what the appointment is about.
Yeah, exactly.
I found an app, Doc Ready.
Ah, brilliant.
Oh, so you fill out what you want to say before you... Brilliant.
There we go.
Brilliant.
Excellent. And you see how things are continuously evolving, new things coming online all the time, right? But you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. That one it was given to me because I did a course to do with mental health. So it's aimed at that, but it's got a checklist on there that you fill out and it gives you prompts of what you want to talk about. And then you can print that off or you've got it on your phone. So even if you can't get all your words out, you give it to them. You give it to them and they then know what they can do.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I'm all for advances that can help individuals who they say are sometimes hard to reach or marginalized. You hear all these terms. So anything that can help. And yes, some of us will want to take part in research. I've got a little quote here that I just want to read, just a couple of sentences.
Okay.
And it's from a researcher. I think it's a doctor, actually. Yeah, I think she's a doctor. But it's 4 years old. But what I like, this person, her name is, where is the name? Oh dear, sorry. Erica Marsh, and it's an American lady. And what I like about Erica's paper, entitled Understanding Racial Disparities for Women with Uterine Fibroids, the headline says, Black women are hit hardest by fibroids, diagnosed roughly 3 times as frequently as white women with more severe symptoms. But what I like about her paper is that she says, research has taught us that if you're not included, then you're not represented. We want to make sure research is inclusive and reflective of everyone affected by this disease. And she's a doctor, Erica Marsh, MD. And she also mentions the impact, the mental health, the quality of life impact, and so on. And this is it. So if we're not talking, we're in this what would you say, environment of taboo, talking, no one, we whisper it amongst ourselves to our closest friends, but we never ever And sometimes we tolerate things. So diagnosis becomes difficult because we've kept it to ourselves for so long that when we finally do go, the outcome is more drastic than it would have been if we'd gone earlier. It's all of that, not talking, patient dissatisfaction, health disparities, Black women, and not only Black women, please don't get me wrong. I'm not just advocating for Black women, but I'm just saying if I'm a pregnant mom and I'm Black, I'm 5 times, or I was 5 times more likely to die in childbirth. So there are questions. So if we don't talk about our gynae issues, how are we going to know that we're getting the right outcomes? How are we going to know? Where is the data? I've looked at some data. I tried to find some data on the NHS, I think it's NHS Digital. And I found number of admissions, completed admissions where people have gone into, been diagnosed, treated, and come into hospital and left. And in terms of fibroids, there are 40,000 hysterectomies carried out roughly a year. And about a fifth of those, about 8,000 of those are for fibroids, uterine fibroids.
Wow.
So it's not something that we can ignore. And more young women are hitting their 20s, 30s and realizing and getting a diagnosis of fibroids, as well as other gynae issues like endometriosis, adenomyosis, and so on. And also, it's now purported that uterine cancers are on the rise.
So it just gets worse, really.
So, yeah.
So, tell us, 2nd of March.
Right, 2nd of March.
What's happening on 2nd of March?
There's going to be a half-day conference in Milton Keynes, an in-person conference. The Fibroids, Hysterectomy and Beyond annual UK conference is taking place again. Last year was the very first one. The second one is taking place on the 2nd of March at 1:30 at the Leonardo Hotel, Midsummer Boulevard in Milton Keynes.
What, for anybody who's going to buy a ticket, what should they expect to happen there?
Right. So we've got some phenomenal speakers, some phenomenal experts who not only know their subject matter, but are gynae experience too. They've been through stuff themselves. So this is interesting because not only can they talk from the theoretical, but they can actually speak from personal experience. All right. So we've got a surgeon, an obstetric gynecology surgeon who's I think she's becoming quite well known in the UK, called Dr. Loretta Ogboro-Okor. And she will be talking about surgery, treatment options, and sex. Right? Last year, she lifted the lid on some stuff about sex after gynae surgery that, trust me, it was so good. Wow. We've got Ruth Harrison Swift, who is a corporate menopause workshop speaker, deliverer. She will be there to speak to us about that. We've got Hayley Down, who is a hormonal specialist, hormones. Let me get it right. She's not hormonal, hormones, hormones and nutritionist specialist. She'll be there to talk about heavy bleeding, effects of diet, and some tests that you could potentially do. Who else have we got? We've got Yvonne John, who is an advocate for infertility support, who wrote the book, Dreaming of a Life Unlived. We've got the fantastic Dee Bailey. I don't know if you know her.
Just a little bit.
Do you know her?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Is she the lady that just put on 2 kind of film premieres? Is it her?
She is the lady that's just put on 2 films at Cineworld.
Yes.
Members only. Yes.
Right. So Dee Bailey will be the moderator host for the day. And can I just say, the conference is for everybody. It's not just for women. It's for everybody. Why is it for everybody? Who's that? Me here. I saw
Dee Bailey.
Oh, that lady again. Oh,
that lady again. Yeah.
So men, you are invited along too. Your partner, your sister, your daughter, your friend, your co-worker may need the information, right? May need your support, because the impact of some of these gynae issues are far-reaching, affecting families. So the social sphere, the world of work, it can affect everything. One study in Japan estimated, hang on, let me just turn a page quickly. I always like to have these facts to hand. They found in their study, Mr. Kyoko Shimamoto et al.
Okay.
All right. There's a list of names, so I'm not going to call them. I'm just going to say et al, meaning and the others. Found a total annual economic burden due to menstrual symptoms among Japanese women was estimated as $8.6 billion US, of which work productivity loss accounted for 72% of the burden.
Wow.
We need to talk. We need to come together, because, as you know that saying, prevention better than cure.
Yes, that is a lot, especially for, and I might just be really stereotypical here, but my understanding of people who live in the places like Japan and China and what have you, they go to work regardless. They go to work.
Right.
You know, so if it's affecting that amount, that is a lot. We do need to talk. We definitely need to break this taboo. We need to break this taboo, because we really, really want we want to know that our outcomes for all of us across the board, regardless of our ethnicity, is equitable. Yes,
it's spot on, and we're getting the outcomes. All of us are getting the outcomes that we should. Because we're not a monolith. Where each case is different, but if we don't talk, we're not going to know. We're not going to know. Well,
exactly.
how was your experience when you went in, and what was your diagnosis, and how were you treated? What was the advice you were given? Did they tell you to go and have a hysterectomy straight off, or did they talk to you about other options? All right.
So 2nd of March.
2nd of March, in person.
In person, 1:30 till 6. The Leonardo Hotel that used to be the Jury's Inn.
Not far from the station. So if you're coming in by train, it's just a 10-minute walk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How much are the tickets?
The tickets are £10. And if you're driving, there is lots of on-road parking. It is paid.
Oh, excellent.
But there's lots of parking in the area.
Yeah.
So wonderful. Looking forward to seeing you. And there will be some fun on the day. It's not going to be all doom and gloom. So come for connection, for networking, for clarity, for access to experts, information. Remember, you don't know what you don't know. You may be at a crossroads waiting to kind of hear something to help you make a decision that you need to make. So do come along. I look forward to seeing you on the day.
Get your tickets, people. Get your tickets. I got my ticket yesterday or Sunday. I can't remember, because I was working and I've now got the day off. So I have my ticket because for me, I put everything down to my health condition, which is fibromyalgia. Everything goes down to that. And that's not the case. That is not the case. And there are changes within my body that I'm thinking, actually, I need to come to an event like this so that I can go with the information to my GP ready.
Yeah, so, and ask questions. And Q&A is very important. There'll be opportunities for Q&A. Yes. And some people might just want to come and sit quietly and take notes.
That's fine.
And that's fine too.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. And we're not going to film you, by the way. We're not going to be filming any of the attendees. So
I didn't even know that was going to be an option. So that's
some events there are cameras everywhere. And can I just say, it's not too big either.
Good.
This is an exclusive event. There's not that many tickets.
Yeah.
Available.
Wonderful.
So please make the effort. Plan it. Milton Keynes, there's tons to do. So come for the day. Come for the weekend.
No, I've got a gig to go to in the evening, so I'm just coming up for that and going home. But anyway, thank you. So just stay with us. I don't know if our other guests are still there. Shelley, bring them on before we say farewell. Hello. So
Hello.
we have got coming up International Women's Day.
Yeah, I'm just trying
Yeah.
International Women's Day is on the 9th of March. It's at Luton Hat Factory. Tickets are £8 if you're a non-member. If you're a non-member, I don't know why you're a non-member, because you should be a member by now. But £5 for members. It's going to be fantastic. As usual, it is going to be absolutely brilliant. And it's not just for the ladies. We need the men there as well, just like V said. Need the men there as well, because they need to hear what's happening, what women may need. So International Women's Day, get your tickets. We've got the lovely Samara hosting International Women's Day. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be awesome. Also, a member of our team. I don't know if he knows he's a member of our team, but he is a member of our team.
He does.
The lovely Jake. It's his birthday. So happy birthday, Jake.
He's 17 years old today, so give him a couple of weeks, then stay off the roads.
Oh no! Oh dear! Another one going to learn to drive. Okay. Just let us know. Let us know when we need to be off of the roads. So he's completed his silver and
yeah, we're still doing a bit of fundraising for him now. He's heading towards his Duke of Edinburgh Gold, which is also the King Scout Award as it is now. He's trying to pay off my credit card because we paid for his expedition. So he did the canoeing over 5 nights. Had to go so many miles and everything else, completely on their own and working out where they were going and where they were sleeping and stuff. He's doing his volunteer work, and he's doing some other bits and pieces that he has to do. So come this summer, I think he would have actually completed it all.
Excellent.
So he was trying to get it done as soon as he possibly could. So it's definitely going to be by the time, by the time the end of the year. So yes, it is a big thing, and he's not jumped into this right at the very beginning. He has actually gone through all the different stages. It was something that he wanted to do and put his mind to it. So yes,
it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So as we're wrapping up, then thank you, David, thank you, Grace, and thank you, V, for coming on. We are going to be watching you, Grace. We're going to be seeing where you're going. We are going to be there, and we're going to get you on the show to come and do a hosting with us. Okay.
Whatever we're going to do, that'd be cool.
And yes, let us know what's going on so we can just promote any of your events. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for coming. It was lovely.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So see everybody next week. Get your tickets for V's event. You need to get your tickets for International Women's Day because it's fast upon us. So get those tickets and we will see you next Tuesday. See you then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.